Hello and welcome to the Collapse Experiment. Today I will be talking about Bryan Johnson. If you're not familiar with that guy, there's a documentary on Netflix, which the name of it is kind of eluding me at the moment. Was it Don't Die? It might be called Don't Die. But essentially, this guy is trying to figure out longevity, how to maximize the body's potential to live a long and healthy life. He was a tech entrepreneur. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's now deciding with his free time and his money to actually do some legit research on how to extend people's lifespans. So this article here is from the Economic Times. And the title is, Has Bryan Johnson's anti-aging experiment backfired? Biohacker spends $2 million a year, admits to a costly misstep. So essentially the supplements and some of the things that he takes are actually relatively cheap and anybody can buy them anywhere. Takes them every day, and then they take blood samples and figure out what's working, what's not, adjusting doses all the time. He also works out every morning, but doesn't go to the gym. He's got all of his own equipment at home. But I'm thinking the $2 million is probably the staff and all the different tests that he has done on his body throughout the year. So, I mean, to just blow $2 million a year on your health, should we all be so fortunate? So, is he a member of Congress? Okay, so they do have a synopsis here about him. Bryan Johnson, a biohacking enthusiast, has spent millions trying to slow aging. Instead, his use of the drug rapamycin may have sped it up. Despite side effects, Johnson remains committed to his quest and emphasizes the importance of sharing both success and failures to learn from them. This is why I respect the guy. Everybody wants to call out like, oh, ha ha, see what happens when you mess around with this stuff? This is how you learn. I don't understand everybody jumping on his shit. Johnson's story shows the uncertainties in the pursuit of longevity. So, Bryan Johnson, the tech tycoon turned biohacker, has become the poster child of modern immortality movement. With a staggering $2 million annual budget dedicated to turning back his biological clock, Johnson's name has become synonymous with high-tech health hacks. Whether it's transfusing his son's youthful blood or undergoing a full plasma exchange. I'll admit that sounds kind of gross. Johnson has spared no expense or headline to his journey to live forever. He even admits he's not trying to live forever. He just wants to see how far he can extend his own lifespan. But in his latest confession, the 46-year-old entrepreneur, this dude's the same age as me, may have uncovered a chilling irony. In his zeal to slow aging, he may have accelerated it. Rapamycin, regret, the drug that promised youth. In a candid new video uploaded to his YouTube channel, Johnson revealed a major miscalculation involving a drug he once believed was a cornerstone of his protocol, rapamycin. This immunosuppressant, originally developed for organ transplant patients and now touted as an anti-aging circles was something Johnson had been experimenting with for 5 years. Okay, so what happened? Inspired by a 2009 study showing rapamycin extended the lifespan of mice by up to 14%, and a 2023 human trial in which 65% of participants felt healthier while on the drug, Johnson began meticulously adjusting his dose to balance potential benefits and risk. But instead of rejuvenation, the tech mogul started noticing troubling side effects. Yeah, and the photo that they show on here is from one of his videos, and they purposely like aged him in the video to make a point. Warning signs in the mirror: mouth ulcers, slow healing wounds, cholesterol imbalances, spikes in blood sugar. But what truly alarmed Johnson was an uptick in his resting heart rate, a metric he considers the holy grail of sleep and recovery data. The dissonance between expected and reality forced a sobering reevaluation. Adding to the concern was a recent Yale University study that turned the pro-rapamycin narrative on its head. Contrary to earlier findings, researchers discovered that the drug actually accelerated biological aging across 16 epigenetic markers. Instead of preserving youth, it may have been fast-forwarding time, at least for Johnson. Which is funny because all this like tests that they've done on him, it's like what he kind of reversed aging for a lot of his biomarkers by like 6 years. Based on the very outcome he spent millions to avoid, Johnson chose transparency over an embarrassment. To those of you laughing at home, I'm laughing with you, he said with a wry smile, confirming he has since stopped taking the drug. Of course. But this wasn't a resignation, it was a reset. Johnson remains committed to experimenting, documenting, and crucially sharing. It's important to talk about both the success and failures, he said. That's how we all learn. Netizens react. One of the commentators on Johnson's video wrote, "The key is to share things, whether they work or don't work, so that we all learn. It's shocking to me how many people don't understand the value of sharing negative results." Another appreciated his honesty. "This is one of your best videos by far. Adequate scientific explanation, owning up to mistake." Wouldn't that have been nice like 3-4 years ago? Owning up to some mistakes that happened during a certain thing. One commentator quipped, "Tip of the spear. Not sure I agree with all things Bryan Johnson, but I applaud his undertaking this journey and most importantly sharing it with the world. The price of eternal youth. Bryan Johnson's self-funded crusade is a public experiment in the limits of longevity and the high-stakes risks that come with it. While some hail him as a visionary, others view his method with skepticism. But whether you're fascinated or horrified, one thing is certain. In the race against aging, even the most calculated moves can age you faster." Oops. Kind of reminds you of some certain people in a cave somewhere. The goblet. You had to choose the right one. You chose wisely. But whether you're fascinated or horrified, one thing is certain. In the race against aging, even the most calculated moves can age you faster. The future of biohacking might still be unwritten, but Johnson's story is a potent reminder. Not every shortcut is to immortality leads you where you expect. And that is the end of the article. Man, there's a ton of ads in here. Holy crap. So yeah, okay. He was taking this drug, rapamycin. I don't know. I don't remember if it was shared in the documentary or not. However, I do remember seeing this video posted, and I didn't get a chance to watch it. Considering how many channels I subscribe to and follow, there's just, unless it really catches my eye, I'm probably not going to watch it. And I am impressed with this dude. I think for him, he probably picked like the best thing to do with his money other than buying boats and trying to bang chicks half his age. I mean, that shit becomes really boring. And no, he's got an interesting background. He was raised Mormon. I think he left the Mormon church, and so there's like this fissure between him and his family. Okay, so for some reason there's a bunch of ads popping up. Ton of ads. This website really sucks. The Economic Times, your site sucks. So yeah, actually I'm just gonna click out of that. Good Lord. So crap. Just lost all the articles. Anyways, Bryan Johnson, no, I think he's doing some good work, and he does share like all the supplements that he takes. I don't think he shares the dosage because everybody is different, okay? So what works for him or doesn't work for him doesn't mean it can or doesn't work for you. And I think that is one of the ideas that he tries pushing when it comes to what exactly he's doing. And no, I think that what he has going on, we're going to end up learning quite a bit in the next couple decades as this continues on, and we start seeing his results one way or another. So, anyways, that's about it for Bryan Johnson. Yeah, dude learned. Well, the other thing is, I give him credit for using himself as the guinea pig, as opposed to like hiring other people, like universities do. What exactly does this drug do? Hey, let's get a bunch of idiots in here and give them a check at the end. No, for him to actually do it all himself and put himself at risk as opposed to other people, I think is actually pretty darn good. So, anyways, that's about it. Bryan Johnson, rapamycin, and keep on typing.